5 minutes, you done lost your crowd. Butler's there. Hello.
Hey, Jerry and Susan.
We was trying a different platform and we're working with old equipment. We had to go back to this one here, StreamYard.
Troy Sutton was in there.
How many are you showing?
Just Butler.
Just Butler?
The others were on Restream. Anyway, what have you guys been up to today? Staying warm or doing projects?
Been sick.
Hey, Troy. I had some issues. Sorry about that. Hey, Jerry, you been sick? Been trying to get well. Well, I hate that. I hope you feel better soon.
Be prayers for you.
You and Susan are both sick?
Had it very bad. What was it?
You have the flu or pneumonia or what was it? Can they hear us? I don't know if that affects it or not.
Mm-mm.
God only knows. Coughing, sinuses. Probably because it's been warming up during the day a little bit on some days and then cold at night and
Low fever.
Cold in the mornings. Well, take you some medicine and get plenty of rest. And I mean, that's the best thing for you. Couldn't breathe. Goodness.
Everything is respiratory nowadays. You can't just have a stomach virus. Everything's got to be in your lungs now.
Well, I hope you guys feel better soon. My goodness. Did you go get COVID tested?
They haven't done anything but their live last night.
Well, I'm sorry you guys are down with all this. I hope you guys feel better soon. It may just be us tonight. No, I don't believe in that. We don't believe in COVID or...
It's the flu, ain't it? It's just the flu. In the testing, yeah. Yeah, Kathy and I were unvaxxed. We wouldn't take it. It was almost to the point both our jobs were on the line because we wouldn't take the vaccine. She had to file a grievance basically against it, and she was okay. But there was enough people at JB Hunt while I was working there before I retired that just flat told them, we're not going to do it. And we haven't. I think the closest thing to a vaccine that Kathy and I have done here lately was shingles. Yep. Oh, on the fire department, they made you do it? See, that's ridiculous. My body, my choice. Not going to do it.
Well, I work for the federal government, and they were trying to make us. I filed a religious accommodation, and before I got an answer back on it, they pulled it where we didn't have to be vaccinated. Some people got vaccinated, or they would have lost their job. That's what they were telling them. And we're mad now because they had to get vaccinated.
Kathy's sitting there eating this summer sausage that I finalized, cooked yesterday. We both made that up day before yesterday. And yeah, day before yesterday.
Sunday. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I smoked it all up yesterday. And
it'll be gone in a month.
She's so addicted.
I'll eat a whole deer in a month in summer sausage.
She will.
Hey, Lori. It's good to see you on here.
Now, Lori. We're kind of dragging behind, trying to get on live stream. Last week we couldn't get on and tried, but
I had a Restream set up, but I couldn't get logged into it. It wouldn't give me a go live button.
Guess that's what you get living on dirt road.
We've been working on some winter projects here in the house and the shop.
Ah, the popsicle flavor. It is the cherry pineapple monster popsicles.
Brian's mostly been working on the projects. I've been working. But on the weekends, I have a list of things I've been trying to get working on.
Building a rabbit hutch right now. I've got it in the shop, and I'm about halfway there. I got parts coming in tomorrow to finish it up. But been going down the road to a neighbor's place. It's cleared a lot. He is...
Lori finally got her some.
They are good, aren't they?
She probably sent her grandson to go get some.
They're great. He's clearing to build a home, and I get all the pines off of it. So I've been hauling trees down. I've hauled probably about 8 trees today down to our property. And milling will start.
We're getting ready to get a couple of rabbits. We got to get their little house built first. Lori, did you send your grandson to get the popsicles for you? Lori's the one we sent the cowboy candy to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For her grandson.
Well,
he loves it.
Stole a quarter of my cowboy candy. I like it on my omelet.
She said she worked at Dollar General for 11 years and never tried them, but sold a lot of them. Yep. But now she knows what she's been missing.
They are so good.
What number is that? 4?
2.
There's a wrapper over there.
How many of them have you ate?
I half a bag.
So everybody got their winter projects done and ready for, because here in Arkansas, in Northwest Arkansas, we're getting ready to go through our worst part of the winter. We're just now getting there.
February.
She says, no, my daughter went shopping for me.
Oh.
Awesome. I'm glad he liked it. Kathy does a great job making that.
I don't eat it. I've never even tried it. I just would think it would be too hot, but well, I've tried it. You've made some ribs and stuff with it on there.
Yeah.
But to eat it out of the jar like you do.
She literally has stepped out on a limb and tried the crushed pepper. She made me a bunch of crushed pepper, and I use it almost on every meal.
You do use it on every meal.
And she stepped out on a limb and has been trying it a little bit here.
It's supposed to be good for you, like health-wise.
Pain.
Well, I can't wait to grow a bunch of peppers. Grow a bunch of peppers and dry them out and make our own with our own peppers. Well, Jerry and Susan Butler have been sick for a week now. They haven't even been outside.
He said he'd be right back. Dinner was ready, so they're off.
Lori, and I know you don't get out much. So I've been working on. So we finished building our house. Well, that was quick, Jerry. You already ate everything, or are you eating at the computer? If you were on panel, we'd hear your plate clanking, right? Oh, eating fish.
I think I may have make Kathy eat fish tomorrow.
Yeah, we've been trying to avoid going to the grocery store. It's just ridiculous. So we've been eating stuff that we have. We're working on getting a couple of goats. Hey, Heather. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Heather.
We have a cousin that's got a bunch of goats. We're trying to get him to give us a couple of goats that we can harvest, basically.
We're going to process.
A couple of goats. Real soon.
Lori got sick too.
Yeah, she didn't eat for several days. Wow.
Back to eating normal.
Well, I'm glad you're at least eating better now, Lori. Sorry you've been sick.
Need to go to the co-op and get you some horse warming medicine, ivermectin, or however you pronounce it, and you won't get sick like that no more. Ivermectin.
I don't know what it's called.
Ivermectin.
I don't know. So when we finished building our house 1.5 years ago, we just left the floors concrete. So I've been working on in 2 of the bathrooms putting flooring down. I ran out of material, so I had to order some more. Got 1 bathroom floor finished.
We'll have a big tour.
Yeah.
You guys have seen part of our house. We'll do a big tour of what we built. When I
get everything done and get it all cleaned up and, stuff that's sitting around. I don't like that being in camera. I want to make it look like nobody lives here. No, I'm just kidding.
Jerry and Susan.
Butler.
Oh. Yeah, Jerry and I had a pretty long conversation about him being in the military. And speaking of military, it's my oldest son.
Hey, Heather, guess what we are in the process of building right now? Take a wild guess.
Hey, son. What are you doing? We're live on YouTube right now, but I'll step out here and talk to you.
Hey, Bowen. Yep. Heather, you're right. We are building a rabbit hutch that's going to have 4 compartments in it. So we can get rabbits soon. The hardware and latches came in today. We're building it out of lumber that we already have. So we didn't have to buy any lumber, which we wouldn't buy it anyway. We just mill it up. But so reclaimed lumber that my son brought over. I ordered it's not chicken wire. It's called hardware cloth. Ordered that. That's coming in tomorrow. And then Brian will be able to finish up the rabbit hutch over the next couple of days. Build the doors, build the dividers, and put the hardware on it. And then we'll be ready to, I gotta decide on what feeder and water I want to get. I'm pretty sure I need to get metal because the rabbits will chew into plastic, chew it all up, and we'll be replacing them. Bowen, what are you talking about? Let me find out. Well, so the hardware cloth that we ordered is 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And it's supposed to be better. The webbing is not close together, but it's not too big. What do you have in yours? What is a cove rabbitry? Well, so 1 inch is kind of big for their little feet, we thought. We did some research, And people said it was better to don't use 1/4 inch because the poo can't go through it, but 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch should be big enough. So we might find out we need to return it and get something different. Well, we have it set up where we've got some trays that are coming in that will slide underneath where the hardware cloth is to catch all the rabbit poo. So that's the reason we were doing that, but maybe we'll just do something solid under their feet and then just slide like a mat or something and slide the mats out and let it fall down in the thing. She said don't use hardware cloth for where they walk. All the videos we watched, that's what they used.
Everybody.
She said it hurts the webbing on their feet. And she said 1/2 inch by 1 inch, but she says not for their feet, just for their sides.
Mm. Well, we're going 1/2 inch square instead of 1/2 ones on, so it'll definitely be better on their feet, and I hope it'll drain the manure down, but we'll see. Bowen's on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just got here.
And Bowen, I guess, is 1/2 inch all the way around okay, or does it have to be 1/2 by 1?
Well, Heather said 1/2 by 1 for the sides, but
no, from stand on.
Yeah, like Bowen said, everybody does theirs different, and we wanted the poo, instead of staying in the compartments with them, we wanted it to fall through.
He did 1/2 by 1/2.
That's what we ordered.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1/2 inch by 1/2 inch.
Yeah. That's what we did.
Oh, he said Butler said he doesn't use 1/2 by 1/2. Well, we ordered the 1/2 by 1/2, and we plan to put it for under their feet.
Yeah.
And we've got like bus trays, like what you see in a restaurant, coming that will slide underneath in a we've got 7-inch span under their feet that the buckets will slide under to catch the poo, so it's easier to pull the buckets out and empty them into the garden compost than having to clean out the cages. Spend a lot of time cleaning out the cages. So Bowen said he did 1/2 by 1/2.
And Bowen said you'll figure out what
Butler
works
said
for you.
1 by 1/2 on the bottom too. And that's what Heather, you said 1 by 1/2 on the bottom.
Everybody has used 1 by 1/2 that we've watched on video, but we, being first time, we elected to go ahead and do 1/2 by 1/2 square,
because we figured that would be better on their feet than, which we're going to build them.
But if it doesn't drain, we're going to go 1 by 1/2.
We are going to forgot what I was going to say. Oh, we're going to build them nesting boxes for inside their little section, so it'll be solid, so they'll be able to get in there.
Jerry wants to know if we still got his number. He may have gave it to me that night him and I were talking. Let me look.
I don't know if I have it or not. I don't. Did I ever have it?
No, Jerry, I don't.
No, I don't have your number. I just have your email.
Bowen said don't build permanent.
Well, it's not
nesting
going to be
boxes.
permanent. It's just going to be a little box that we can pull out. It won't, that will just sit inside there. You think you have nesting boxes that we can have?
That's what Jerry said.
Yeah. I don't know when we'd be in Joplin though.
That's not too bad of a drive.
No. I'm actually working in Arkansas for a few months and not in Missouri because we had a couple of plants that are shut down for bird flu. So the egg plants are shut down right now. So that's part of the reason why eggs are so expensive. So I'm working stateside in Arkansas, and I gave up my plant to some of those that were working at the plants that shut down so they could be closer to home. Soraya has found that water bottle strip, which would cause an ice chunk to form in her bed, her bedding. Yeah, I've been looking at some different water situations, but I wanted one of those with the metal spout, and the spout part would be the only thing inside the coop. But the feed part, I need to go with metal so they don't chew it up. I don't want to be replacing water and feed buckets every month.
If it's plastic, or they'll chew it.
Yes, and we the nesting boxes that we were going to build were just going to be out of some scrap OSB that we have.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't be spending any money on it. My son come over Saturday this past weekend to build a shelving unit. He brought a bunch of lumber and OSB over to us. So we're building our rabbit hutch with the same lumber that after he was finished with it. Oh my gosh, 300? Woo! We don't want that many. We plan.
How would you keep up?
Our plan is to get 1 buck, 2 doe, and breed them, and then put meat in the freezer when they have babies, when they're old enough, we're going to put the meat in the freezer. But we plan to sell a couple of rabbits each time.
Jerry, you can't squeeze enough buttholes fast enough to figure out what kind of rabbit you got when you got 300 of them. Holy cow.
Bowen, so it's not so much about the freezing as it is them chewing up the bowls in the feed bowls and the watering devices. If they're plastic, they'll chew them up. I mean, they chew up the wood that the hutch is made out of.
To your point, Bowen, I've seen a video that rabbits would rather drink from a dish than from a watering unit. So I see what you're saying.
Well, I did find some watering
Texas
bowls.
Raiders in.
Hey, Chris. Texas Raider, -42, Heather. Oh my gosh. I can barely function at 42 degrees, much less -42. That's great, Jerry. That was a great little So ceramic is
Yep.
what we use for food. I haven't seen any ceramic. Where did you get those from, Heather?
He thinks he may have some feeders too.
Well, we might just have to
Make a trip.
yeah, like this weekend maybe, if they're feeling better. So Heather, you just have one rabbit? I thought you had a couple. I knew the rabbits would be fine in the cold weather. We do want when they start having babies, we may put a heat lamp. We're not sure, but I think what we've seen on other YouTube channels is that the nesting boxes are rather small, really just big enough for the rabbit and the little babies. So we won't make them very big, and then that way we'll give her plenty of stuff to for bedding.
One house spoiled and one outside. So she's got one in, one out.
Oh, well, that's not fair. No heat. Okay.
Yeah. And you're right,
no
Bowen, because
okay.
they don't, it's like chickens. They don't need a heat lamp either.
Ordered them on Amazon. Okay. Well, so I found some metal bowls on Amazon. But the metal bowl sits down inside of like a plastic coated bowl. And I thought those might be okay.
Oh.
But the problem with them were they were only like a 4-inch bowl, and then it was like less than 2 inches thick. I mean, deep. So I just thought, we're going to be filling the water and feed up a couple times a day.
Probably, but Bowen said he has a whole lot better luck that way. And I've heard that before.
So I think I'm going to go, I don't know. I haven't bought the feeders and stuff yet because I hadn't decided for sure. I just brought a guy out of things he had. Oh, you bought out a guy that stuff he had. Okay.
I understand. And I mean, I've had rabbits before, but I was young and really didn't know what I was doing with them. But from what we understand, I guess with this rabbit hutch I'm building now, we're going to face it east. That way they have the least sun beating on them through the day. Like you said, Bowen, they're more heat sensitive than they are cold sensitive. So they're going to face east, so they have the least sun throughout the day.
And the back of it'll be solid, so
yeah,
we can so by the garage, but like long ways like this.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd have to walk out to see them.
Yep.
Okay. All that tin's in the way, but yeah, we thought about we've got a it's like a black canvas, but it's not a solid canvas, but we could always put a tarp over it. We have seen some channels where they have like plexiglass on the sides, and then they take that off during the summer months so they can get airflow.
Well, they won't have any shortage of pine needles and pine cones. I got plenty of that on my place.
Frozen ceramic tiles and frozen to literally bottles will be their friend. Okay.
Frozen 2-liter bottles. I've heard that too.
Okay.
that people put frozen water
That
bottles.
helps here in the summer months. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys for the tips. We would definitely cover during really cold temps. The winds won't blow from the east, but
Not as bad.
It would, if we have it up against the garage, then we basically just need to cover one side.
You only need to cover it. It really don't need to be covered. They're heat sensitive.
I'm talking about the winter months.
Yeah, the winter is not going to bother them.
Today, I've had 2 sodas.
Jerry sent you an email.
Okay.
Hey, Sean. Yeah, Kathy's got the material for the bottom of the cage coming in. Supposed to be here tomorrow, from what I understand.
Hey, Sean.
Sean, have you got out and played with that little chainsaw yet?
Ours will stretch out on frozen tiles at the fair. That's cool. We'll be creative at what we do for them during the summer months.
Our co-op up the road here sells rabbits.
You know, they do. I don't know what kind they are. We kind of had our mind on New Zealand. The rabbits at the co-op close
they're
to
not
us,
butchering rabbits. They're pet rabbits.
They're
floppy ears.
They're $15.
Yeah.
But we found a girl who we got some rabbit poo from for the garden compost. And she said she sells hers for $100 for male and female. $50 each. But we were thinking about getting 2 females to start with.
Sean said, hasn't done anything with the little chainsaw yet, but video coming.
Cool. Because the rabbit barn gets hot, they don't sweat. Fans are okay. Well, cool. Heather, I've seen your coop. Your hutch. Yours doesn't have, the sides are closed in, right? Just your doors have the hardware cloth on them. Because the rabbit barn gets hot. I guess we're caught up.
Has a window.
Has a window. Well, we're going to put that hardware cloth on the doors too. So it's going to be 4 doors. Because I know at some point you have to separate them. So I guess what we'll do is we'll have a doe in 2 separate compartments and then put the buck in there with them to breed.
Yep.
Separately. And
but
then when it's
buck will be in his own compartment too until we're ready to breed.
Right. And then we'll have a spot for babies.
A brooding, yeah.
Right.
A raising.
Where the mamas will be with their babies, and then at some point,
hey, Janae.
Hey, Janae, I haven't seen you on anybody's live in a while. You doing okay? If it gets too warm, hey, Heather, how hot does it get there?
Who's Granger?
Granger Creek. I am here realizing I know nothing about rabbits. You're fine. We'll talk about anything.
We're figuring it out together.
We are just
we got a panel of experts, and
Yes.
we're learning from them.
We are getting ready to get rabbits on our homestead. We were actually going to talk about winter projects, but this is one of our winter projects, is to work on a rabbit hutch and get rabbits. So that's part of our winter projects, and then just kind of getting a little organization in our house and getting some flooring down.
Yeah. Like we said, I mean, our hutch is halfway built, and we got with my cousin. He's got some goats, and we're getting ready to take on a set of goats, not to raise. We're going to butcher these.
We are going to get some goats to raise, but right now we need meat in the freezer, so we're going to butcher a couple goats, and then after the rabbits are situated and our new garden is in, we'll probably get goats. So we see humidity in 90s. I bet the humidity is not like it is here.
Where's she at?
Hey, to all the silent watchers, hit the thumbs up. If y'all are on your phone, you can double tap the screen.
Thank you, Janae.
Thank you, Janae. Granger Creek, where are you guys from? Can somebody share Granger Creek's a link, please? Idaho?
Idaho?
Oh.
Okay. Potato. You guys know how to grow potatoes?
Isn't our Hawaiians from Idaho? Isn't that where they live?
Yeah, that's where they moved to.
Mm-hmm. We follow Jeremy and Melissa with gosh, why do I forget their channel name?
I don't know. So Granger, you guys have a beef ranch. That's awesome.
Beef rancher, that's awesome. That is.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew Heather was in Minnesota.
And Idaho's actually a good area for having beef.
Simple Living, not Simple Living Alaska. That's Eric and Ariel. Am I drawing the blank?
I don't know.
Good Simple Living.
Is that what they are?
Good Simple Living with Jeremy and Melissa. They're in Idaho. There's some, which they don't get on our live or nothing like that. They're too big for that. They're big time. We're just little folks here. Yes, welcome in. Thank you guys all for joining us. I had a little late start. I couldn't get Restream to give me a go live button. And we had issues last week and didn't go live because I couldn't get it to work. And so I just pulled it up on StreamYard.
Time to do it again, Bowen, Heather.
Hey,
Bowen, did you give up your ice cream sandwiches? That'd be a tough one to give up. Got a small beef herd, okay.
Oh, that's what Butler's got a small beef herd. Yeah.
Oh, we have. Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes, Janae.
Brian always eats popsicles he eats popsicles all the time. Not not just when we're live, y'all. He might go through a package of popsicles every 2 or 3 days.
Possibly.
Because he eats about 4 to 6 a night. If he did, I need to sell my ice cream stock. Chris.
Yeah. So Jerry, you got about 40 head. That's a good solid. That's a good solid group of cattle.
If we had better land, we would probably have a couple of cows. We would have a couple of everything. But our property is got ravines going all through it, and it's just not level. If we ever sold this property,
and it's not that we don't have grass, we don't have anything but rock.
Yeah, we have.
So we would have to feed everything that we brought in here, and that's not money wise.
We could feed goats off the brush and blackberries that are out there.
The goats could do that, but
yeah. We don't have flat land here. If we ever sold this place, it would definitely be for something with flat land, because I want a huge garden. There's so many things we want to grow, and our garden space is just not big enough.
See, Jerry, they got grass, no rocks.
Jerry's in Missouri too.
We grow rocks. I'll send you rocks, Jerry, if you need rocks. No,
we'll
he's on the outer edge of the Ozarks, so he's actually into good soil.
Mm. Yep, 40. He's got 40 head of cattle and 10 goats.
Mm-hmm.
And gonna get how many rabbits? Rabbits are expensive. We basically right now want to start making sure we have plenty of meat in the freezer. It's so expensive to go to the grocery store, so we try to avoid the grocery store, and we eat what we have. We eat a lot of deer meat. I killed a deer
a few nights ago,
about a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
and we processed the deer on Saturday.
Along with a hind quarter and shoulder that a neighbor gave to us because he had too much.
Our plan was to make ground out of all of it, but we were out of summer sausage, so we made summer sausage out of all of it, except the back strap.
Did you eat that whole bag?
No, I put it in the refrigerator.
Oh, okay.
But we made summer sausage. I need rocks to create a wall to keep my property from flooding on the heavy rains. Well, come and get some, Chris.
I don't have flagstone. I've got all the limestone you could ever want. Holy cow. That's all I've got. And I grow it daily. Don't even have to water it. Don't have to do nothing to it. I can burn it and it's going to grow.
So Jerry's got 3 bucks and 4 or 5 does. You're going to get 4 or 5 does? Or because you have 3 bucks? Is Kelly in here? Did we miss saying hi to Kelly?
I don't know. Kelly, if you're in here, hey.
Oh, well, heck.
Are they're meat rabbits? We have 1 doe, 1 buck, and live in the middle of town. And you can raise rabbits in town. That's a great thing. They don't make noise. They don't do anything other than you just hug on them and let them know that you care about them. Yeah, I'm going to get 4 or 5 does.
Well, what kind are they, Jerry? Do you know? Oh, and he's down this way? Oh, Kelly. Hey, Kelly. They're watching it on the TV.
Oh, okay.
He's just commenting on his phone. We're at, Jerry, exactly closer to us.
Yeah, we had Joe Fixit holler at us, said hi, but we was trying to get logged on a different platform, and I guess we lost him.
Well, and Joe says he jumps on everybody's live as soon as they post it. So he wants to be the first one in. So he's about 2.5 hours from you. So,
you're only about an hour from us.
Good night, Chris.
Good night.
He's got to go mod another channel. Oh, Amy's probably.
Is it that time? Yep.
So 2.5 hours from you. So Jerry, you're only about an hour and 15 minutes
from us.
Yeah, maybe an hour and a half from us. Numerous sweethearts always include Kelly and Sean. Let's trade blame. Yeah, we love Kelly and Sean. We love all of our YouTube family. I never knew that this was a part of YouTube, where you actually get to know people and chatting with them and stuff. Go live. I mean, I thought it was just about making videos.
If everything lines up good tomorrow, I may go live on my sawmill. And if I do, I'm not going to monitor comments or anything like that, because I'm just going to turn it on, let it run live while I'm working.
Now that he's got his 50 subs.
Yeah, I've got enough subs, and I'll go back to the comments afterwards and answer them. Hopefully they'll all be there, but I'm going to run my mill hopefully tomorrow. It'll be sawmilling brewery.
I just
you put it on there.
Okay. That way
and
Janae can grab the link.
And hopefully I get to go on and do that. I've got some good lumber I need to mill up. We're needing 2x4s. I've already done our 6x6.
We've done all our 6x. So we're talking about for our tiny home that we're going to build on our Oklahoma property. We've got all of our 6x6 beams milled.
Smith.
Okay. Fort Smith is about 100 miles from here.
We're dead between you
and Fort
them.
Smith.
Yeah.
We've got all of our 6x6 beams milled. We've got all of our 2x6s milled, all drying out for the tiny home. We have not decided how we're doing the ceiling joist yet. Our mill will only mill 16 feet.
Yes, Janae. Thank you.
And
Amy and Chris, they're starting up right now. So yes, anybody that's on here that likes to go visit with them, Janae put that on there. Yes.
Thank you for sharing Sawmilling Brewery.
Yes.
Janae. So we haven't decided on our roof yet, because the tiny home is a 30 by 24, and our sawmill won't mill 24-foot boards. So if we do 12-foot boards, connect them in the middle, we'd have 6x6 post like every 2 feet in the tiny home. And I don't think we want that. We may have to special order from Lowe's the ceiling joist. We haven't decided on that yet.
Love you too, Janae. If you're jumping over on Amy's,
we'll see you in a little bit. We'll be over there in a little bit. So Jared, you don't have a set date that you're planning to go to Fort Smith? So this person is just going to give you what you need. That's cool. That'd be awesome to get a couple does in a buck and not have to pay $50 for them.
Right.
No, not yet. After the weather's better.
He's a YouTuber also.
Oh, okay.
What's his page?
We paid $35 for our New Zealand's. Yeah, this girl that I went and got some rabbit manure from, she breeds them, and she's got pedigrees and all this and that. She said she charges $50 each for them. She's putting herself through college with the money that she's making.
Smell that money.
Just use a floor joist and wrap them. What do you mean by floor joist? Sean, what we wanted to do was use all milled lumber to build the tiny home. We're just kind of at a loss on the roof part. It's possible that we could put some beams up inside so we could have it all milled
by our wood,
with our own wood.
Yeah,
build it.
So what we have to do, Sean,
yet.
I guess the roof.
It's a lean-to roof. It's what it is.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a 24-foot span. So that makes the difference.
And I can mill 16 feet. So I would have to mill basically, like she says, 2 12-foot, and they would have to join in the middle of the house.
Right. But they would need some kind of support.
Yes.
I do believe. I don't know. Pedigrees are really only just saying they're purebred. Yeah, and I don't know. Pedigrees is not something that we're worried about because it's not like we're going to keep the rabbits and keep breeding them. We're planning to put meat in the freezer as well as sell some for to make some of the money back, like for the feed and that kind of stuff, just to keep recirculating our money back into them.
We'll sell their feed as poop.
Well, that's going to be for the garden. that's going to provide food back to us also.
It will.
That's why we're resourceful living, because we're always trying to recycle and use one product for another project. And
we just had a load dump of mushroom compost.
We don't want what for eating, Jerry?
Oh, okay. The rabbits that guy has in Fort Smith. Yeah, we want meat rabbits.
Yes.
We want New Zealand meat rabbits. And if that's not what he has, then you're right. We won't get those. We don't want pets. I want something I can go out and grab it at 12 weeks old and strip the hide off of it and put it in my freezer.
Yeah, we're not doing any showing rabbits and pet and zoo, nothing like that. It's strictly going to be for meat in the freezer and to sell a few of them to bring money back into the homestead. No, the ones the girls has with papers.
That's the one that we got the rabbit manure from that had all the pedigrees and everything on her rabbits.
No, we're not looking for something pedigree. We got rabbit manure from this girl. When Brian went to go pick it up, noticed she was raising rabbits and talked to her, and she was saying that she's done a lot of research and all this stuff, and she's got good rabbits, and that's why they're more expensive.
Very impressive, because she's going to veterinarian school is the main thing. Veterinarians are just a breed apart, because most of your family doctors, a lot of those are veterinarians wannabe because they couldn't make it. It actually takes more schooling to be a vet than it does to be a family doctor.
Well, and we weren't, Heather, we weren't looking for somebody with pedigrees and stuff. That this girl just happened to mention that.
Yeah.
It's not something I care anything about. They're no, not showing them. Don't care about paperwork. Just care about meat in the freezer and bringing little money back into the homestead. That's it.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Oh, so the Brett's is all meat rabbits. His channel is Butt Nugget Homestead. Okay. I think we're subbed to him. Yeah.
I think we are.
I think he might have been on one of our last lives.
He might have been.
I need to write it down just so I can make sure.
There's just something about a butt nugget, Jerry said, no, not the right channel name.
What? That's not the right one?
That's his nickname.
Oh. Well, he was on our live and said something about Butt Nugget Homestead. I do believe.
I like the way you say that. Say it again.
Whatever. What's his channel name? His channel name is Tiny Farm Nuggets. Okay, I've not heard of that.
I got a mouthful and I can't say a word.
We don't meet too many people from Arkansas. YouTube people.
Oh man.
His name's Brett. I'm going to subscribe to him and tell him that you sent us over to his channel, Jerry.
Horsey's mayor is going to have to put Horsey to bed.
Heather, what kind of winter projects are you working on? Because y'all got so much snow there. Good grief. Oh, I need to make Jerry a mod. He's not blue.
He's not blue.
That would be
he wants to be like the jellyfish and swim free. What's temperature there right now? She said, I'm trying to stay warm.
What kind of heat do you have in your house?
And what's the temperature inside your house?
And what's the temp in your house, Heather? Hey, Jerry, send another comment. There you go. Jerry's blue.
Is he blue?
And just like that, he's blue. Other family form is okay.
It's a beautiful 30, feels like 16. In the house, 60. Oh, okay, our house is 68. She's checking.
It's 70 here in the house and 42 outside right now.
But we've had some single digits.
Yeah, it's been really cold. I layer up in 4 layers when I leave here for work because it was 20 this morning when I left.
If you look behind Kathy's head right there, that is a mini split.
Oh, yeah, that up there.
Yeah. And we have 5 of those.
Each bedroom has one, the living room has one, the dining room, and the kitchen. All have mini splits.
And when we got down to single digits, I was very impressed. We got down to like 65, 64 degrees, and the splits did their job. Now, if you look right here,
back there is a propane heater.
It will kick on to compensate
if it needs to. And it does every now and then, but not very often. That's kind of a backup for us. It's a beautiful 30 degrees, feels like 16 in the house is 68. Okay, well 68 is
That's what I was saying. That's good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
How many kids do you have, Heather?
Now, Granger said they're at 18.
They're
in Idaho. So, yeah, and 3 foot of snow. Oh, yeah. You Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, snow pushing people.
I could not handle that much snow all the time. Heather's got a lot of snow, too.
Mm-hmm.
We follow Eric and Ariel. They're in Alaska, Simple Living Alaska. And man, they have snow 9 months out of the year. When it's summer months, they've got snow. And I don't know how they do it. They moved from Georgia. I believe it was Georgia or Oregon, maybe. Anyway,
they adapted so fast.
Yes.
So fast.
I don't know how they do it. I mean, they do ice fishing and snowmobiles. They'll go camp out in a tent when it's negative 58. And I'm like, no, to me, 58 is cool. I couldn't imagine negative 58. Oh, Heather, negative 42. Girl, do you love that kind of weather? Man, I could. 18. Now it was 20 this morning when I left for work, but not 3 feet of snow. Now
you got a gas furnace. See, you should be actually ahead of us because our mini splits are nothing more than a heat pump. And heat pumps ain't great when it gets cold, but I've been impressed. Heather was born there, so she don't know any different.
So he's 3.5 hours away, but he's still Fort Smith. So you're an hour and a half from us, and we're probably about an hour and a half from Fort Smith.
That's what I said. We're halfway between them.
Yeah. So he must be on the outskirts of oh my goodness, 13 years old, almost 14. I remember those ages with both of my kids. Gravely. I've never heard of Gravely. Gravely? Grave Valley?
That must be over around Pine Bluff. Oh, not Pine Bluff. Van Buren is what I'm trying to think of.
He went there about a year ago. I've never heard of Gravely.
Let's just go to the map, Bob.
That's awesome. Congratulations to her for making honor roll.
It's 103 miles from here.
Yep. Well, that's about Fort Smith. Fort Smith's about 100 miles from here.
It's 3 hours.
Fort Smith is 3 hours from here?
No, Gravely. That is way down here. Good grief. Down there by Waldron.
Oh. He's quite a bit of ways from, he's off 28, he said. Yeah, that's further south than Fort Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Mansfield, Fort Smith, Mansfield, Waldron. Okay.
Well, now that I know the area, does he got all of his teeth?
Stop it. That's rude. It's so rude. Did you get rabbits from him a year ago, Jerry? He has a ton of rabbits. Does he just like having a bunch of rabbits? Or has he been trying to sell them and just can't? Rude but funny, Heather said. That's what I said. He's from California.
Golly, he moved to the middle of nothing.
Well, he got out of California.
That's
Now
what
everybody else is getting out of California.
By the way, up and down our road.
We've got a lot of people on our road from California.
We do.
That's building houses out here.
We had one kill himself, so we did lose one of them, but
well, he kind of killed himself. He kept drinking and got drunk and fell off his back deck and
crushed his head.
Found him a few days later.
I found him
butt naked.
Yeah,
he had probably gone out to pee off the deck and fell during the middle of the night. And
it's his deck was probably about a 8-foot drop, so when the coroner got there, said he never felt nothing. He said he crushed his head. He fell straight on his head. So, but he was from California. Then his next door neighbor is from California. And who else we got on the road from California?
Justin, Chad, Mike was, Cindy.
Far as new neighbors,
all the new neighbors are building houses out here, and they're all moved from California.
We got a new one now that's from Kansas City.
Well, I'd rather live in the middle of nowhere with nothing than to be in California right now. There is a lot of people moving from California to Arkansas. They say Arkansas is one of the better places to live. There's a lot of opportunity here if you're young enough, and it's a growing place, that's for sure. It is constantly growing, a lot of growth going on right now. It's unbelievable where they'll build a house or build tiny homes in the smallest little areas.
I don't care if they move here from California, just don't bring California here and make Arkansas into California, because that ain't gonna play. That dog don't
Well, I
hunt.
think Arkansas, Northwest here, Rogers is doing it to themselves. And I just so thirsty tonight. Yeah. Where in California did you live, Jerry? So Old Man King Homestead is close to him. Okay. San Diego. So I lived in San Diego for a little while.
Heck, you move from a place that has year-round 75 degrees to move to Joplin, where you don't know when the weather's going to change.
I actually graduated high school in California and then moved to San Diego for a little while.
She's a Louisiana coon, but don't let her fool you.
My dad's job moved us to California my senior year.
Yeah.
So,
she was Louisiana all of her life.
And I moved back. So I'm here to stay.
75 and gray and on the underwear.
Oh, Mr. Chuck's on there. What bothers me most about them moving from California to here is that they die, then take up our grave plots. Is that all you worry about, Chuck?
That's Chuck. That's Chuck's sense of humor.
So one of our neighbors down the road here, he was in Temecula, California. He sold a house for $822,000 and then moved here and built a mansion just down the road from us and probably spent $400,000 building what he built and got to pocket $400,000. That's the reason people want to move here, because they can have some. In the house he had in Temecula was like 1,200 square feet or 1,100.
Jerry, I do remember you was in the Navy, and I understand. But for you to be in San Diego, you was a little bit more special than just Navy. So I understand. Because them Navy boys like you're either going to be in San Diego or you're going to be at Virginia Beach.
Navy? I thought Jared's been at Panama.
Well, Jared, the Navy SEAL son, what she's talking about in Pensacola and Panama was he went ahead and put himself through divers. So he's a true frogman. And he's still in.
Chuck, how are you and Caroline doing? I was watching that Property Brothers on HGTV one day, and they had a competition going. They both found a house in California that they bought to flip. one brother bought a piece of crap house that was falling apart. The little awning over the little porch was falling off of it. I mean, this house would be what you'd call a shack here. And he paid $450,000 for it.
Jerry, I tell you what, my hat's off to you. So Jared, he said the comparisons between going through both of those spec ops, Bud's is tough. I mean, Bud's, it is what it is. But a lot of people don't realize what it takes to be a diver. And you boys go through just as much hard crap as them. Well, diver is part of the Navy SEALs. Straight up. You got 5 divisions of the Navy SEAL. You got SEAL, diver, SWCC, EOD, and air, I think it is, if I remember right. So, no, I'm impressed, Jerry. I didn't realize you was part of the SEAL team family. I guess I didn't pick that up. And good grief, you was in the Mach 5s. That's an old suit, bud.
Where'd you see that?
He said he was a diver hard hat, so
I wouldn't.
I'm taking that as a Mach 5.
Are you growing tomatoes right now inside, Chuck? Mark 5 and
Mark
12.
5 and Mark 12. Okay.
I started some starters in my greenhouse, and I've made a list today of what's already starting to sprout. I'm so excited. I've got several herbs already sprouting. My cabbage is sprouting. Broccoli is sprouting. My grandson planted him some broccoli.
She has thyme, sage.
I have 10 mints,
dill.
medicinal mints.
Yeah.
Thyme, sage.
Chuck, do you need help with anything on your garden this year? Because you normally grow good, bud. You didn't grow anything.
He's going to put them in 5-gallon buckets.
Oh, okay.
We grew all of our tomatoes in 5-gallon buckets last year. Well, everything out here has to be in raised beds because of all the rock. But all of our tomatoes were in 5-gallon buckets.
I have never done tomatoes the way that we did them last year. I've always just let them grow and do the best with a cage or a T-post to keep them up, or even panel. But Kathy elected this year or last year to string them and tied them off and let them grow basically up a string, and it worked so good.
It worked pretty good.
It worked really good.
Some of them
got really tall.
I didn't realize there's some tomato plants that grow tall, really tall, and some don't. And it's called somebody help me out with there's 2 words. Tomatoes.
Give me
really tall.
Give me some
tall tomato and anyway. So some of my tomato plants got like 9-10 feet tall. And then eventually they just got so heavy when they ran out of string to string to, and they just fell over. And by that time, all the weeds were taken over. But this year, the garden's going to be different. I'm just hoping for a great garden this year. We're going to expand it some. That's right. You
Chuck,
guys have more rocks
we got a
than
lot
I
more
do.
rock than you do.
Yeah, I wish we had some more flat land. Man, I would have a huge garden. We'd be growing everything, baby. We're just limited on space. Chuck, if you need any 5-gallon buckets, let me know. I know there's places that sell them for about $3. They're cheaper than like Home Depot. Getting things ready. Yep. I've been getting things ready too. Yeah, the bigger the garden, the more work, but man, what the benefits you reap from it, because we grow a lot of tomatoes, bell pepper, and onions, because we make salsa, we make rotel, we make spaghetti sauce, and it all goes in all that stuff. We used IBC totes for beds. You cut those in half, Jerry. Make 2 out of it. We just used the 5-gallon buckets, and then we had some crates that we got at a parts store. They had some kind of parts delivered in these big crates. They were like, about 4 feet long, 1.5 wide.
Yeah.
And those finally fell apart. So those are done. But I bought some like 𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐎 beds. They're not the 𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐎 brand, but those metal things that I have.
Water.
What are they?
It looks like a water tub.
But there's no bottom.
There's no bottom in it.
So we'll fill those with dirt and make our beds with those. So the garden's going to be nicer. I've got newer stuff.
She's going over to Amy's.
Okay. We'll see you in a little while, Heather. Thank you for coming in. Yes, we want buckets. Maybe 4. Okay. I'll get you 4 buckets, Chuck. I probably got 4 buckets already that I didn't use from last year. Yeah, we have to have raised beds here. Nothing's going to grow in our ground.
Yeah, like I said, we got a mushroom compost that was delivered here. It's straight off of the Illinois River bed, so it's really good stuff.
Mushroom compost and topsoil mixed together. I got 3 yards of each delivered. And then we got some rabbit poo. We're getting some chicken poo, and we're getting some horse poo. And we're going to mix all that together. Well, you already got that chicken poo, right? We just got to go pick up.
Yeah, it's not.
The only thing we got to get is the horse poo.
It's not hot anymore. It's that.
Okay.
That we picked up last year.
Okay.
So it'll be fine.
Hey, did you get the WH you needed? What is the WH? That is what I get also. Watch hours. Who, us? Yeah, we're monetized. And we had one short that blew up, and we've got like 1.3 million views on it. And that helped us get our first check from YouTube. But we won't get another check for 6 months. It's just slow.
Yeah, and it's a video of me getting a catfish hook out of my thumb.
Yeah, Chuck, we're going to get a couple of rabbits. Did you hear a car door?
No, I heard now.
We're going to get a couple of rabbits. Horse fresh, do not use it. If it's fresh, don't use it, because it's supposed to be good for the garden. This has been sitting for a little bit, right? The horse manure.
Yeah, yeah. But rabbit manure is not a hot.
Yeah, rabbit manure can go straight into the
Yeah,
garden.
it can go straight in. And we've got rabbit or chicken manure we've had for a
like
year.
August.
And I'm sure it's not a hot compost right now, so I think we're good with it.
So he says don't get horse manure that's got parasites in it that'll kill the plants.
Oh,
even mixed with everything, all the other compost, because we watch YouTubers that mix several things together.
And Jerry, we absolutely do. We need to chat again. We do. I had a good time with you.
Congratulations, Jerry. 46. Man, you're so close to 50. That is awesome. You need to do another giveaway at 50. Maybe I'll win something. I haven't won any. I've only won on one giveaway. A little garden stakes, little garden thing. Wow. You guys are gaining so fast. Get some cattle crap. I will load your truck up. Black cow. So, cow manure, is it hot?
No, it's not a hot.
So we can just have all kinds of manure all mixed together and have plenty of for the garden.
But people were burning up their fields and everything with chicken manure when they were spraying it years ago.
Yeah, they say.
So then they went to hog manure.
Well, they say chicken manure has to. You have to let that compost down for like 6 months, 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, it's hot.
To before you want to put it in your garden. But I think we got these 3 big bags of it. I want to say like in August or September.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be fine. Well, you go get Jerry, you go get a bunch of rabbits, and then we'll come see you. We'll get some rabbits. We'll get some feed and watering things, and we'll get some manure. We'll just make a day of it.
I guess she's saying then me and you can sit on the back porch and have good conversation.
He said, we'll talk.
We will talk. Okay.
Well, I guess we're gonna jump off here, and I gotta get to bed. I have to get up at 3 a.m. Chuck, I don't know if you heard, we got a couple of chicken plants that are down in Neosho. So I gave up my plant in Anderson to a couple of the employees at the Neosho plants, and I'm working here in Arkansas for a few months.
Thank you, Jerry.
So I'm gonna thanks, Jerry. So I got to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to be in Springdale at 5. So we are gonna jump off here, and it was good talking to everybody. Thank you guys for joining our live. If you haven't, go hit that subscribe button or the thumbs up on your way out if you haven't clicked it yet. And we will see you guys. Probably won't be on next week. Next week I'm out of town working in a hotel. So we won't be live next week.
Horsey will be here unsupervised for a whole week.
I'm just gonna be Chuck. I'm just gonna be working in Siloam Springs. Well, Summers, Arkansas.
Summers, you're going to
which
be
is about
staying.
30 minutes from Siloam
Yeah.
Springs. But I'm not gonna drive. I'm not gonna drive an hour and a half each morning to get there at 5 a.m.
Thank you for joining,
Yeah.
Jerry. Appreciate you guys and Chuck. Thank you.
And Sean and Kelly, if they're still on, they're probably jumped over to Amy's.
I think they have.
It was good seeing y'all too in the chat, and we Jerry, we'll give you a call. And Chuck, we'll stop by there. I'll bring you some buckets in a few days. Love you guys. See you later.
Bye.